Hello everyone, this is Energy Crisis, the energy drink report. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For I believe that it has to be evening somewhere, that is. So I'll just kind of say good evening. Good evening. This is Energy Crisis, the energy drink report. I'm your host, Report of the Week. And we are here with a good old energy drink review. Part of the Energy Crisis series, of course, as we all are part of an energy crisis, searching for the best beverage, which will give us caffeine to resolve the energy crisis. Sounded good. Sounded like I knew what I was talking about there. Okay. Tiny little can. Not even gonna lie. Tiny can, right here. Hype. Energy. I don't even know what that says. We'll just call it Hype Energy, alright? You can obviously see in the bold text. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it Hype Energy. Hype. Guess I'm supposed to be hyped about something. Hyped Energy. And then it's in cursive. Is that a real word? Enlite? I've heard of enlighten, but that's a Enlite. Enlite? Hype Energy Enlite. We'll just go with it. Hype Energy Enlite. Low calorie energy. Low calorie energy. That's all it says. Kind of like a reddish, purplish colored can. Nutrition facts. Serving size 8.4 fluid ounces. 1 serving per container. 25 calories per serving. 4 grams of sugar per serving. Vitamin B12, B6. And pantothenic acid, 50% of your daily value. Ingredients include carbonated water, sugar, citric acid, taurine, sodium citrate, artificial flavor, caffeine, sucrose, blah, blah, blah. Caffeine content is 80 milligrams. There's been more. There has. Energize yourself and enlight your senses with only 25 calories. I have to look this up. I have to. Is that even a real word? Enlight? Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just sounding like an idiot. There's certainly companies named Enlite, but forget about it. Doesn't matter. What's it gonna do to me if it's a real word or not? Nothing. Doesn't matter if it's a real word. It's not gonna change how the drink tastes. Refreshing carbonated energy drink with caffeine, taurine, and vitamins. Not recommended for children, people sensitive to caffeine, pregnant women, or women who are nursing. Drink in moderation. Store at room temperature. Serve ice cold. Best before. See base of can. How are you supposed to read that? We're just going to assume it's good. Just going to assume it's good to drink. So, we're taking it literally, okay, ladies and gentlemen? We're taking it literally. It said serve ice cold, so we have our little glass here filled with 4 ice cubes, so it'll be served literally ice cold. Hype Energy Enlite. That thing. Some icons, too. And a lowercase letter F. A lowercase letter T. And a box with a circle in it. And it looks like the icon of a bird, or two. I don't know what all that is. Alright. You're playing with fire with the small little 8-ounce drinks. Alright? You're playing with fire. It's 50-50. It's either going to be one of the worst things you've drank in a long time, or it's going to be one of the best. But it's one or the other. Interesting. Can't say I was really expecting it to be this. It's clear, completely and totally clear in color. Just clear. I was expecting more of maybe like an orangish yellow, with a can colored as such. But just because it's a certain color doesn't mean that it's going to reflect how the drink looks. But totally clear. So, anyways. Mostly odorless for the most part. somewhat carbonated, but anyways, we're just gonna take a sip away at this ice cold beverage and you know how it tastes. So hype, energy, and light going in. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. Something off about it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the worst kind for me is not the drinks where I immediately know what's wrong with it and what tastes bad, and I'm usually sitting here spazzing out in the chair. What's the ones that are worst for me are the ones where you can tell something is wrong about it, but you have to sit there for a minute. You have to take a few extra sips. You got to analyze it before you can say, yeah, this is what's kind of making it taste weird. But there's something definitely off about this. It's not fun. Someone even told me from the get-go. You know, they said it's served ice cold. You know it's going to be awful. Just here I am anyways. It's not necessarily awful, but it's not the most pleasant thing to drink. I would not drink this for pleasure. I would not. Here's what we notice. First of all, from the first sip, it actually does bear a resemblance to Red Bull in flavor. Alright. That's for the first second. You know, it has that kind of flavor of its own, that kind of soda-y taste. Pretty carbonated. At first, it's sweeter. And it is very resemblant of Red Bull for the first few seconds. Very carbonated. But then as you begin to kind of swallow it, it gets this aftertaste which just does not work. Alright? You can... It's a mixture of two very interesting flavors. And, not really a flavor, but more of an unpleasant experience. But here's kind of like the byproduct, whatever they put into this, okay? This is what you kind of taste. Imagine a combination, and this sounds disgusting, but it's probably what it tastes like, of coconut and root beer. And I know that doesn't really sound like the most pleasant thing in the world, and if it does, you're mistaken. Take those... Take those two different, you know, flavors, really, and, just combine them, and it just does not result in anything pleasant at all. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Alright. You know, the third thing that I was going to say isn't a flavor, because it's not a flavor. Alright? It's just not a flavor, ladies and gentlemen. The third thing that I notice about this is just a bitterness, alright? And I have no idea. I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. It's got 80 milligrams of caffeine in it. Alright. 80 milligrams. Does that result in a bitterness? Presumably so. You know, I imagine maybe what this interesting byproduct of flavors might be could be the, perhaps, all the artificial sweeteners kind of making their own little flavor. And I guess they just didn't do a good enough job covering up that meager 80 milligrams of caffeine. So, here's all you need to know about it, really. Alright? Number one, it just models the taste of Red Bull for the first second. And after that, you're going to notice this odd flavor, like an aftertaste. It turns into an aftertaste, too. But it starts out as a prominent flavor and then goes to an aftertaste. And what that is again this combination flavor of a bitterness, then this kind of disgusting combination of almost a coconut / root beer type of flavor, and I imagine that's probably a byproduct of all the artificial sweeteners, or maybe they just tried to flavor it as something and just screwed up. I couldn't tell you one way or another, but that's just what I'm tasting here. And, you know, not the greatest drink, but you know, in this case, I literally will say you get what you paid for. This drink was not $1.99. It was not $1. It was not 50 cents, ladies and gentlemen. This drink was acquired for a mere 33 cents. Alright? 33 cents this was. 33 cents was the price of that drink. And, you know, with that being said, you got your money's worth. Right? You get what you paid for. I paid barely anything for this, so what do I expect? You know? What do you expect? You pay barely anything for it, and you shouldn't expect something good necessarily. But am I confident this will keep me awake? No, not remotely. Should you waste the whole 33 cents on it? Well, if you're at Big Lots, that's where you attain this. Just do it, you know. 33 cents is nothing. Okay. So just buy it. Doesn't matter. Nothing's going to waste really if you buy this drink. So feel free to try it out, but it's cheap at least. That's the good thing about it, but otherwise just not the most pleasant drink in the world. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, out of 10, what are we going to rate this? Just not a pleasant drink. Just I can't see this as something that I'd be drinking, you know, on a daily. It's not really a pleasant drink. I can't see myself even finishing this really. The price is going for it, but it comes at a time when you might say, well, maybe it's cheap, but is it still going to even be worth the experience having to drink this? And to that I say really no. It's cheap, you can drink it if you want, but not really worth your time. It's you know. So that being said, out of 10, I'm going to be giving this a 5.9 out of 10. Just due to the fact that not the greatest tasting thing in the world. It's cheap, but still not the greatest tasting thing in the world, so definitely below average. That's all we have for you tonight. This is Energy Crisis, the Energy Drink Report. I'm your host, Report of the Week. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Goodbye.